The Last Lesson by Alphonse Daudet, Class 12, Subject English, Book Flamingo. Extra questions, short answer type questions, 2 markers with 2 value points as an answer. Question 1. Why had M. Hamel put on his fine Sunday clothes? Answer. The order from Berlin stated that only German would be taught in schools and not the French language. M. Hamel knew that it was his last French lesson. It was in the honor of the last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes, which he put on inspection and prize distribution days. Question 2. Why were the elders of the villagers sitting there in the back of the classroom? Answer. The elders of the village, old Hauser, postmaster, and several others were there in the classroom because it was their way of showing respect for their country and thanking M. Hamel for his 40 years of faithful service. They too felt sorry that they had not been to school. Question 3. The last part of the lesson reveals the emotional character of M. Hamel. Elucidate. Answer. M. Hamel, the teacher, told the children in a solemn tone that it was their last French lesson. Henceforth, only German would be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master would come the next day. As that was their last French lesson, he wanted them to be very attentive. Towards the end, he writes on the blackboard, Vive la France, and dismisses the class. Question 4. Is France trying to equate himself with the pigeons as regards to imposition of foreign language? Answer. A country can be conquered physically by using force, but it is difficult to conquer minds. Language is a very powerful weapon. The Germans imposed their language on the people of Alsace and Lorraine. M. Hamel said, as long as the French hold fast to their language, they can't be made slaves. In this statement, he intends to say the Germans would also succeed in teaching the pigeons their language. Next, long answer type questions, 4 markers with 4 value points as an answer. Question 1. As M. Hamel delivered a speech on the last day of school, urging the village elders and students never to leave their native language, you can begin the speech this way. People are passionate about their country and language. Excessive pride in one's own language may lead to language chauvinism, where they feel superior to others and try to impose their language on others. Answer. So it's the same we have read just now. Next, the Germans have taken over the districts of Alsace and Lorraine, and an order has come from Berlin that French will no longer be taught in this school. From tomorrow, the German teacher will come. This is my last lesson. French is the most beautiful and logical language. We must owe respect to our language and know how to read and write it. No one can enslave us if we have a strong hold of our language. I emphasize on the fact that it is one's language that gives us our freedom. We must not leave our mother tongue. I find that you all are regretting for not learning your mother tongue seriously and now realize the importance of the mother tongue in your lives. Next question. This is your last French lesson. How did France react to this declaration of M. Hamel? This is previous year question. Delhi 2010. Answer. When M. Hamel declared that it was their last French lesson, a grim realization dawned on France that he had so much more yet to learn. He felt sorry for whining away his time and skipping his lessons. Now he did not want to part with his books, which he had earlier considered a nuisance. He was also deeply pained at the thought that M. Hamel was leaving. Next question, Delhi 2010. What a thunderclap these words were to me. Which were the words that shocked and surprised little France? Answer. When M. Hamel mounted on the chair and announced that he was there to teach his last French lesson that day, France was shocked and surprised. He felt very guilty for deliberately ignoring to learn his native language, and he suddenly developed a strange fascination for his language and his school. Next question, All India 2010. What changes came over little France after he heard M. Hamel's announcement? Answer. When M. Hamel announced that this was to be their last French lesson, a grim realization dawned on France that he could hardly write his language and now he has been deprived of the opportunity to learn it. He felt very guilty of neglecting his classes and escaping school. The thought of losing his teacher M. Hamel also pained him. Next question from compartment Delhi 2010. What was tempting France to keep away from school that morning? Answer. France was very late for school that morning. M. Hamel was to question the students on participles, and France knew nothing and feared a scolding. The bright weather, woods, fields, and chirping of birds tempted him to spend the day outdoors. Next question, compartment Delhi 2010. What was unusual about M. Hamel's dress and behavior on the day of his last French lesson? Answer. On the day of his last French lesson, M. Hamel was unexpectedly kind. He had put on his beautiful green coat, frilled shirt, and an embroidered black silk cap that he normally wore only on inspection and prize days. In his last lesson, he explains everything with unusual patience, as if he wants to teach them everything he has ever learned in their last French class. Next, compartment All India 2010. Why had the bulletin board become a center of attention during the last 2 years? Answer. The bulletin board had become a center of attention because for the last 2 years, all the bad news had come from there. It was the source of all bad news, the lost battles, the draft, and the orders of the commanding officers. Long answer question. M. Hamel has received an order from the German officer in command directing him to leave the village the next day. He is ruffled. However, he gathers confidence and writes a page in his diary about his love for French and his role as a teacher. Answer. Value points suggestive. Dear Diary. Germans occupy Alsace-Lorraine. Franco-Prussian War. Spread nationalism, impose German on French. Linguistic chauvinism. Hamel. Contribution 40 years. Teacher of French school his life. Regret and remorse. Casual attitude towards teaching. Thought he had plenty of time. Tribute French language. Last lesson. Best effort to teach everything possible. Emotional, loved by villagers. Viva la France. Expression first person I we. So friends, we have done important questions from the last lesson. I hope these questions help you in your CBSE board exam. If you like the video, kindly like it and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.